Well, welcome into the studio once more. We get into our big stories. There is some breaking news about an accident that has happened. We'll be bringing you some details on that. Gory accident involving a fuel tanker and a bus. Unfortunately, some lives have been lost. Stay with us here on the AM show. We'll be bringing you the latest scoop on that. But today we delve into issues surrounding the governing New Patriotic Party's flag bearership race. And so far, we know that 5 people have picked their forms to contest the elections. They include Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, former Energy Minister Boakye Agyarko, former General Secretary of the party Kwabena Ejapong, former Member of Parliament for Mampong Francis Adainimo, and the person you just heard speaking, former Agriculture Minister Dr. Efri Akoto. Now, we're going to throw the spotlight on these 5 individuals. Look at what they have done in the past, what they are doing now, and what they bring to the table, the MPP table first of all, and then to the national table. Well, joining us for these conversations, Dr. Asa Sumaila Mohammed. He is Senior Lecturer, CK Tedham University of Technology and Applied Sciences. We also have Professor Kwabena Safo Kantanka. He is also a Senior Lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. Prof. Doc, a very good morning to you. Thank you for joining the conversation.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, Benjamin.
Great. Just hold for me, gentlemen. Hold for me. We have a breaking story that we need to get into. And now we'll be crossing over to get the scoop on, unfortunately, that dastardly accident that has taken place. We'll be crossing over to our correspondent to give us further details on this matter. Hello, good morning. So we can hear some sound bites from the scene. We'll be bringing you some pictures of what exactly has transpired and go on the ground. Unfortunate, really unfortunate scenes we're seeing there. Seth Kofi AJ is our man on the ground. Seth, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Great. Tell us, on which stretch exactly did this happen? And narrate to us what exactly transpired leading to all these casualties.
The accident happened at Akyereko Junction, where the river is. When coming from Winneba direction, you can see there's a big river on that road, on that side. Akra Highway, and that place has been marked as one of the accident-prone areas. And as I'm speaking to you now, there's a fatal accident between you come back from Liberia to Budumbram, which is Budumbram is a Liberia community. So they load from Liberia to Budumbram, and there's a petrol tanker with label Goodness Energy from Accra direction to Takrade. And unfortunately, they had head-on collision on the bridge. So as I'm speaking to you now, about 16 people, 16 passengers have been confirmed dead, very serious. And as Winneba Municipal Fire Service Commander, DO2 is here to tell us more. And as I'm speaking, the road has been blocked. The Cape Coast Highway has been blocked for the past 3 hours. Commander, can you tell us what exactly happened?
Okay, so we had a distress call at around 05:14 hours, reporting an accident at this very location, Gomoa Akyereko. And so we quickly arrived at the scene, and we realized that the accident is a very serious accident, which had involved a Yukon bus, which was from Abidjan to Liberia camp. And so we also established that the accident involved a tanker, which is carrying a full capacity tank of petrol. So quickly had to get to work together with our police and ambulance, and we realized that a lot of lives were at stake. In fact, people had been dismembered. They have been torn into pieces, if I may say. So we had to rescue the rescuable lives first, which we have done. We have sent them to trauma and specialist hospital. At the moment, as I speak, the trauma emergency unit is full. So we sent the rest to a municipal hospital. And so we were able to rescue some lifeless bodies as well, because I'm saying rescue because we are not the ones who confirm them dead. They have been dismembered, but we cannot say they are dead until the doctor confirms so. And so those ones were also, as I speak, 15, because we were, yes, 1 6. Initially they were 15, but we have just realized that the driver's mate of the tanker is so sad. In fact, he has been mashed. So, as we do always, we are going to effect extrication. We are going to capture part of the vehicle so that we have access to the body to be able to retrieve the body. And so the accident is not a good thing at all. And looking at the fact that a lot of lives are involved, and for over 3 hours now, there hasn't been any vehicle movement on this road. It's not a pleasant thing at all.
This place has been marked at the whole area. What are you telling?
I am sure for this place being an accident-prone area is because of how the road is. You know, it's a mild curve, and so people try to do overtaking here a lot. I don't know. I don't believe in statistics, but I believe in attitudinal change. If we say it's an accident-prone area, then every car that gets here to get an accident. But if you conduct yourself well on the road, if you drive with care, there have been people who pass here all the time, but they don't get accidents. They don't. And so it's about the conduct of the driver. If you are driving tired, you have to park and rest. If you are overspeeding, you have to advise yourself and all that. It's about attitude. I don't believe in superstition, but I believe in attitudinal change. It's an appalling situation.
Now what are you doing now? You think that the road has not been open?
Yes. So we have been able to tow the return bus to a place of safety, and currently we are receiving the lifeless body of the driver's mate, after which we will tow the tanker to a place of safety as well, so that we'll be able to open the traffic. As you can see, my men are also clearing the heavy debris, including food items and all that, including body parts. We are clearing them off from the road to be able to ensure that the traffic situation flows. So that's what we are doing now.
But if you have any questions,
I had just wanted to find out what had really caused this accident, whether there was any idea which one of the drivers or what exactly had resulted in this head-on collision. Was one trying to overtake the other? What exactly happened?
Okay, so according to eyewitness who was actually following the return bus from Takrady, he said that the driver of the return bus kept on veering off his lane occasionally, many a time. So he was the one who was honking at him, as we say, horning at him to caution him most of the time. But unfortunately, he was stopped by police checkpoint, so he lost track of the driver, which goes without saying that the driver was suspected to be sleeping. And so, according to another eyewitness at the scene of the accident, the tanker driver realized that the return driver had veered from his lane. So the tanker driver wanted to save the situation. So he rather came into the lane of the U-turn because at the time the U-turn driver had come into his lane. And so this didn't save the situation since the two cars are all bulky and big on the road. So the impact was hit at the passenger side of the U-turn and the passenger side of the tanker as well. So this is a situation where we got the tanker driver much, and as we are speaking now, we are currently retrieving his lifeless body. It will be much anyway. And the other passengers on the passenger side of the U-turn were also dismembered. In fact, they were cut into pieces. Some got their head chopped up, some got their head opened, and a whole lot. It's been a nasty scene this morning, but like we do always, the Ghana National Fire Service, we are up and doing, so we've come to the remedy of the situation, and so very soon traffic flow will be open.
All right, just to wrap up the conversation very quickly, have any of them been conveyed to hospital, any hospital?
Yes, I said earlier on that we were able to rescue 40 people.
Okay, so those were part of
who were at the time alive, conscious, and we sent them to trauma and specialist hospitals.
Right.
I said also earlier that because of this trauma and specialist hospitals, emergency unit is full, and so some of them were also transported to municipal hospital in Reading, and the lifeless bodies that we retrieved are 16. So as you people say, 16 have died, and 40 people have been taken to hospital.
Right.
Yeah.
Seth Kofi AJ, we're so grateful that you brought us the scoop from the ground. He's our reporter with Adom FM, and gory scenes that we just saw on the Gomoa Akyereko Junction there, where this U-turn bus, supposedly from Abidjan heading into the Liberian camp, collided head-on collision with a petrol tanker headed for Takrady. I mean, full capacity, fully loaded. And the story is that the driver of the U-turn bus appeared to be either tired or maybe even drunk. And someone had spotted him earlier veering this way and that. And unfortunately, this is what it has resulted in. Very gory scenes. 40 people in the U-turn bus whisked away to hospital, but 16 people confirmed dead. And it is indeed morbid, really gory, because some of these people have been dismembered. Really, really sad situation. And you heard the fire officers speaking there that some say that area is accident prone, but others also who drive with caution always use that stretch without any casualties, and that requires some attitudinal change. And those are the scenes you see there from Gomoa Akyereko, and really heart-rending. But anyway, even as we get into the conversation with our guests, Prof and Doc, this Gomoa Akyereko incident that has just, I mean, we had to break this conversation we're going to have to bring in this one. I would like your reflections on it, because we've been trying over the years to reduce the carnage on our roads. Here we are this morning, woke up to such dastardly news. Around 5:14 a.m., the report came, and by the time the officers got there, 16 of our brothers and sisters had already met their maker. Any quick reactions before we get into the substantive matter? I'll start with you, Prof.
Thank you very much, Benjamin, and good morning. an extremely sad situation. We've been talking about road accidents from time that we cannot even remember, time immemorial. I remember junior secondary school, senior secondary school, we were writing essays about causes of road accidents. So we know all the causes, but I think it's a matter of attitude, both on the part of drivers, road users, and also on the part of government officials, those authorities, those who are supposed to make laws work. The issues are many, but I'll mention two of them right now, listening to the reporter. You see, one major problem with our roads is engineering works. Our roads don't have shoulders. And sometimes where you have shoulders, you've had people even selling coconuts. People put firewood on the shoulders of the road. So I imagine that if where the accident occurred, there was a bigger shoulder, the tanker driver could have moved towards the shoulder, even though the U-turn bars had a little bit veered off his road. So because there was no shoulder, the tanker driver attempted to move onto the offside lane. That is the opposite lane. And at that time, the U-turn driver had also gone back to its lane. That is a bigger issue. And the Road Safety Authority, they must look at this. I drive very often on this road, Cape Coast to Accra. And even this week, I'm likely to be in Accra. You drive and you realize that people have put coconuts, selling coconuts on the shoulders of the road. So in case of an emergency, there's nowhere to pass. That is a bigger issue. And meanwhile, we have Road Safety Authority officials driving on these roads all the time. You have the police, MTTD officials driving on the road, standing on, even sometimes very close to areas where the shoulders have been blocked. It is a major issue. And you see, at around 5:30 a.m., visibility is blurred, especially around this time that is raining. And so I guess that visibility was a problem. We don't have lights on our roads. Sometimes you drive to places and you can hardly see within, say, 100 meters or 50 meters away. So what it also means that as a driver, you must slow down.
Right.
And sometimes vehicles parked on the roads, and the issues are so many. You keep rehashing them, but we don't see any action. We don't see anything happen. And they keep happening on our roads. Road accidents are even more dangerous, and they've claimed more lives within a year than even COVID.
It is.
Attitude towards COVID. It was a very serious one. Everybody was afraid. What about road accidents? So I think that it is high time we sat down and made the laws work.
Right.
The fight against road accidents has also been so much focus on the driver. It's too much driver focused, rather than also considering road construction, road engineering, and even on the road user, the pedestrians, if you like. So sometimes I think that there's so much focus on the driver is also problematic. We have to look at other ways of preventing road accidents.
Right. Interesting, very interesting points that you've made. I've given you a bite. Very briefly, I don't want us spending too much time on this. We'll have sufficient time to get into that. But Dr. Amakye Boateng and Dr. Mohammed, do you have any quick takes on this? Let me also welcome aboard Dr. Amakye Boateng. He's a political scientist at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Dr. Amakye Boateng, let me start with you. Any quick take reaction to this issue? Hello, Doc.
Yes. Let me say thank you for this opportunity and to also say good morning to our viewers. Actually, my quick reaction is on the issue of this attitudinal change. I've always had a problem when we go in for that, because human beings don't necessarily change their own ways that they think they are satisfied and are comfortable with. We need institutional measures to get them to change. When you go to other areas where the roads are narrow, just like Ghana, drivers are not allowed to overspeed. Period. You can't do that. You do that, you are accosted and made to pay a fine at times on the spot, or even if it is not on the spot, the right measures are put in place to ensure that whether you want it or not, you can't overdrive. That is in addition to what Prof has already spoken about, the challenges with the road, the nature of the road, the architectural work, the sizes, the shoulders. The shoulders you drive, and then farmers keep their wood, their firewood, at times cement blocks, sand meant for some construction. And like he said, our police are not aware that those areas too should be cleared for use by motorists. So that's my criticism. We need institutional measures to curb this overspeeding tendencies on the part of drivers. Period.
Dr. Mohammed, what's your take? Quick one. Hello, Dr. Mohammed.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
You can hear? Okay. So my condolences to the bereaved family. I equally use that road regularly of recent times, and sometimes you can see some of these things that are happening that you can just predict that it will happen. So sometimes, as a friend says, most of the accidents are not accidents, they are incidences, meaning that the accident is something that you unexpected occurrences. But these are sometimes highly expected, and unfortunately, we keep on allowing them to happen and killing our innocent people. It's so unfortunate. I equally had such experience 2 years ago in the Chechiman area. I had a head-on collision with a pickup. And it was a similar incident where I did not have opportunity to veer. So as Prof said, he hit the nail on the head. I did not have any opportunity to veer off or to take off the other lane. So he came on, I had to just take the risk. And then we had a head-on. And then I condemned my car beyond recognition and beyond repairs. Fortunately, I survived. So these are things that we need to really look at and carefully identify that these are the key careful issues that in our road regulation and safety we put into place. Another issue that I think about is this night driving. In Europe, night drivers are given regular education. And any car or any company that wants to do night driving, your car is registered, and the regulatory institutions are aware of you and constantly give training. Now, you can expect that he had left Liberia, probably which part of Liberia, probably early hours of yesterday. And he has arrived, now probably one driver for the whole of that journey. He will get tired. You can't cheat nature. And sleep will definitely catch on you. So I think we need to really look at that. And it is one of the things that, if you look at recently, there was another one that happened on the Kintampo side, not quite long, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. There was a similar collision, and then more than 10 people died. Please, we can't keep on killing our own people this way, because sometimes it is not accident. It is something that we know will happen, and then we keep on allowing them to happen. It's unfortunate, and I think we need to step up on our regulatory measures.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your initial thoughts on this. As I have mentioned, right here on JoyNews, we always bring you those breaking stories. We'll continue to bring you the scoop on what exactly has happened, and we pray that for those who have made it to hospital, none others will perish. And I think we should also re-echo this point that when a driver is driving recklessly and you notice it, whether it's out of tiredness or something, don't just sit there. Try and get their attention. I know it's not the simplest thing to do, but your life is at stake. And in this instance, we've lost 16 souls that we cannot bring back to life. May their souls rest in peace.